In this video, I'm going to show you how to solve a quadratic equation using factoring. First thing I'm going to do is write standard form of a quadratic equation above the given equation here. Based on that information there, I know that my a is 3, my b is -2, and my c is -5. Now when you're factoring something and a is not 1, the rule is to multiply a times c, and that is going to be 3 times -5, which is -15. So when I start factoring, the number I'm going to factor is -15. Next, I'm going to make my table. On the left, I put the factors, and on the right, I put the sums, and I want to get a sum of -2. So I'm going to start listing the factors of -15. First is 1 and 15. However, there's two ways to obtain a -15. So I'm going to write this twice. The first way, I could do -1 times 15. That gives me -15. Or I could do +1 times -15. So essentially, you write the factors twice, and the first time you make the first number negative, the second time you make the second number negative, or vice versa. Now, sums means to add. -1 plus 15 is 14. 1 plus -15 is -14. Neither of these matches my b. I'm trying to get a -2. So I'm going to keep going. The next pair of factors besides 1 and 15 is going to be 3 and 5. Remember, write that twice. The first time I make the first one negative, the second time I make the second one negative. So now when I add, when I find the sum of -3 plus 5, that gives me a +2, and 3 plus -5 gives me a -2. This is the row of the table I want to work with because this sum matches the -2 I was trying to get. Now let's write this in factored form. I always have an x and an x there. My first factor is a +3, so I'm going to put +3. And then I have a -5, so -5. Remember in the beginning we multiplied a times c to figure out what we have to factor. So now I have to take the a back out. I have to divide my answers, if you will, by 3. So divide by 3, divide by 3. This goes in evenly, leaving just 1. However, 3 doesn't go into 5 evenly or -5 evenly. So when that occurs, you just swing this out in front. So instead of just x, that becomes 3x, and then you put the -5. So this right here is the factored form of what was given to me in the question. Now I just have to solve these for my two answers. I'm going to have x plus 1 equals 0, and I'm going to solve 3x minus 5 equals 0. So in the first one, I'm going to do -1 on both sides. X now equals -1. With that being said, I can look at all my answers. C and D cannot be correct because they have +1. So my answer has to either be A or B. I'm going to solve the second equation. First thing is to add 5 on both sides. I'm left with 3x equal to now +5. And then to get the x by itself, I do the inverse, division by 3, and that leaves me with x equals 5/3. Therefore, my answer is B. So that's how you solve this question using factoring. You can also solve this graphically on Desmos really quickly, and I'll show you that in my next video. Thanks for watching. If you like this video and want to see more, make sure you hit the follow button.